Welcome to our Greene Acres. Today's video, I'm going to give y'all some ideas and inspiration of some really easy and inexpensive decor projects that we can work on to fill in those spaces when we pack up our Christmas decorations. Alright y'all, let's get started. The first project I'm going to show you is how we can make a really inexpensive little fir winter wreath. You're going to need a wreath form. You can get these at Dollar Tree, and also I use 4 little feather boas that I purchased from Hobby Lobby. These were $3.99, and sometimes you can get these on sale. Now I'm not going to use any hot glue. I'm just going to use straight pins. You just want a pin when you start, and you'll want a pin when you end. Just keep wrapping it around until you go around your wreath form. Now I used 4 for this one, but depending on the size of your wreath form, you may need more or you could get by with less. Now this makes a really pretty little winter fir wreath, and just for a few dollars, and it took me probably 5 minutes to make this. We've got a really pretty wreath now that we can put up to get us through the winter season.
Making our Christmas memories. I've been working so much lately, I can barely find the time to sleep. Yeah, I spend my time running around, keeping people pleased. But this is my favorite holiday. It's a chance to start over new, 'cause I missed you, so I'm letting go of everything but you. These are the good times with you, baby.
Another easy and inexpensive decor piece that we can make is going to be some filler balls. Now I'm going to use different kinds of yarns that I have on hand, but these I purchased at Dollar Tree. So for very inexpensive, I got 3 skeins of this. It's called eyelash yarn. I'm just going to start wrapping it around my fingers until I get it started. And then basically all we're going to want to do is you just want to roll your yarn in a ball. Just keep rolling until you come to the end. Tuck it in, and that's all you got to do. No glue required. Now I took some other skeins of yarn that I had on hand. Some of this I purchased at Walmart, and some I've got at Hobby Lobby. But just use various colors and brands and textures of yarn that you have on hand, and just roll them in a ball. And these make great little filler balls for dough bowls, and just like I say, just something that we can add to add a little bit of touch of that winter season to our vignettes.
Supposed to be making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close, forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da, oh, oh, la da da da. Making our Christmas memories. I've been wrapping presents for you. I've been hanging marbles in the tree.
Another great detail that adds a lot to our winter vignettes is wood pieces. Now I picked these up at an antique store, and you can see I got a child's little foot form, and I also got an adult's. I paid I think $13 for that one, and the smaller one was $10. So very inexpensive pieces that have so much character and wear, but add these along in your vignettes, and it adds just another level of texture for the winter season.
It's just gonna be you and me, hang by the fire and chill. Isn't this how it's supposed to be? Making our Christmas memories. Oh, and I've been longing to hold you close, forget about everyone else. Isn't this how it's supposed to be?
This project is probably one of my favorites, and I just got a vision in my head one day when me and Ben go on our walks in the mornings. We are just surrounded this time of the year by a lot of leaves. Now we have different kinds of trees in our neighborhood, so we have all kinds and all colors. Well, I looked down one day, and instead of seeing leaves, I saw evergreen trees. So I'm going to show you a way that we can make a really pretty little piece of wall decor that we can set up on a shelf or even hang on a wall, but we're going to make them out of leaves. But I just took some various leaves that I picked up. I did spray them with a clear sealer. I used Rust-Oleum, And then you can see right here how you can just turn them upside down and they start to look like trees. Now the first vision that I had for them was I was going to paint them green. So I took 3 colors of paint just to kind of mix it, just to get some kind of evergreen colors, but you can make your leaves and trees any way you want to. But I used Waverly ink and I used moss, and then I used just a craft green paint that I had. I kind of mixed them just to get, you know, some darker green color. Now for the trunks, I just used various sticks, but I ended up finding a really neat stick on the last day before I filmed this that I thought worked better, and you'll see it in just a minute. Now for the background for my trees, I just used a piece of Dollar Tree foam board. I cut it down to size in a frame that I had that I got at a thrift store. I covered it in drop cloth using hot glue. Now I'm just going to cut out the bottoms of my leaves. This is when you're going to want to just start forming them to make them kind of look like evergreen trees. I cut the little twig off the top, and I'm using various sizes. The next thing I did is I took my Cricut heat press, and I wanted to press my leaves so they would be really flat. But when I did, it took some of the green paint off. So this is when I kind of started studying it, and this is when my project kind of took a different turn, but in a good way. I decided, and this is what it's going to look like. So I just kind of want to bring this to your attention. If you paint them and you were to go and press them, it can remove some of your paint, but you could possibly seal the paint in if you want them, you know, painted green to protect them. But I decided to flip them over. I liked them after I pressed them, and I really liked that brown side the best. So I actually flipped mine over, and I'm going to do them all brown. And then the little sticks that I ended up using were just some flat little bark pieces that I found on another day when me and Ben went on our walk. And that's what I do a lot of times when we go walking. I'm always looking for nature and things that I can use on my projects. So I thought I just broke it in pieces, and I just made trunks for my trees. Now I decided, I wasn't sure what kind of glue to use, so I decided I wanted to try hot glue first, and it worked out great. So the first thing I did was, once I got my trees placed the way I wanted them, I just went in with hot glue, and I decided to glue my trunks down first, and then I put a little dab of glue on the top of each of my trees just so they wouldn't move and they would stay positioned. And then I just went around, once I got all the trunks and the tops glued down and kind of tacked down, then I went around with some hot glue, and I just used dabs of hot glue here and there up under the leaves and where they needed to be pressed down. And that was all I did. And y'all, I think this turned out so unique, and this makes a great piece. And I feel like we can set out for winter time, and it was so much fun to make. And you know, if you can get outside and you've got some great leaves to choose from, this project doesn't cost you a lot of money, and it's something that's very unique and it's fun to make. Once I got my trees all glued down, then I just went around with little dots of hot glue in each corner of my frame, and I secured in my canvas. Now the wall decor is finished, and you can set this up now on a shelf or just somewhere in your winter vignettes, and it adds just a great piece of character. And I feel like when people come to your home, this could really be a conversation piece. And this is something, like I say, I just picked up one morning on a walk, and it's just a little bit of nature now in my home.
I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Yeah, let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time.
I'm going to show you another very inexpensive wreath that's really easy to make. Now I'm going to use all Dollar Tree products, and you're going to want to start out with a pool noodle. You just want to wrap it around in a circle and secure it really well with some duct tape. You'll also need 8 to 9 of these Dollar Tree dust mop pads. Now I used 8, but I did have to piece it together because I didn't have enough to finish it. So if you don't want to have to piece it together, I would recommend buying 9. Now I got the inspiration to make this on Instagram. I've seen several people make it, and they make theirs when they do the pads the long ways. I'm going to do mine this way. I'm going to show you how you can wrap it but we will cut them. But when we cut them, that's what we're going to use as, when we go at the end, when we don't have enough to go around, I'm going to use one of these pieces to fill in. So you just want to hot glue your pad onto your pool noodle and then wrap it and then glue that end down on each other and then trim it. And then I did a few of these like this, and then once I got to doing it a little bit more, I thought it was easier if you cut it before you glued it. Now I'm going to tell you, this project's going to shed really bad. I had these little pad sheds all over my shirt that day when I got finished with this project, so you can see them right here, so beware. This is going to kind of make a little bit of a mess. But here you can see, this is when I decided I thought it was easier if you just went on and cut them and then glued it. But you can do this either way you want to. But basically you just want to work your way around the pool noodle, securing on these little mop pads, and this makes such a pretty little fluffy little winter wreath, and it was so inexpensive to make. Now this is where I had to piece together because I've already used up the 8 that I had. So that's what I was saying. If you want enough to go all the way around and not have to piece it, I would get 9 little pads. But I had enough of the pieces. I just kind of filled them in where I needed to with the hot glue, and you can never tell it. So now we've got a great piece. I just added a bow that I made out of some ripped fabric, and I added a piece of totally dazzled bling to it, and now we've got a beautiful large wreath that we can display through the winter season. Santa's coming to visit. Now this project is also another really easy one, and it's very inexpensive. You just take an empty paint can, and if you're like me, I saved these because they make great project pieces. So this is just a paint can that the paint ran out, and I just removed the label. Now we've got a great piece that we can paint, and we can use this, and I'm going to show you how we can use both sides of this paint can. So I just removed the label. I went over it with a couple coats of white chalk paint, and I'm going to add a transfer. But before I do, I'm going to seal it with DIY liquid patina so my transfer will adhere to my paint okay. Because using transfers, you always want to seal your base, because if not, sometimes the transfer can lift up your paint. Now this is from the vintage label transfer sheet, and y'all, this is some of my favorite transfers. And I will definitely have these linked down below, so if you're looking for some really pretty transfers to use, you get a bunch of these on a sheet, and they are some of my favorites. I've already ordered another sheet of these. Now I just take my fingernail, since we've got a black base, I'm just going around and scraping with my fingernail and giving it a little bit of distressing and a little bit of that worn look. Now y'all know I love to decorate both sides of a decor piece. So on the other side, so we can flip it around if we want to, I'm going to add this little mesh stencil. This is the Bon Bon Bunny. I will have this mesh stencil linked below. You get several designs on this sheet of a mesh stencil. You just cut them apart, but they're all bunny related, and I love this. And you can see the painter's tape took off some of my white paint because I did not seal that side, but that's okay because I'm going for a distressed look. So now we've got a great little inexpensive bucket that we can fill with winter greenery, or just, whatever you want to fill it with for the winter season. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. I'm still showing y'all some Christmas decor because technically this is right now the week of Christmas. I did want to go on and give y'all this video just so if you start packing up your Christmas decor right after Christmas, you'll already have some ideas of some things you may want to make. But right now, I want to wish every one of y'all a very Merry Christmas. Make sure to go over and follow my home decor page on Facebook so you can share all the things that you make. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please share it with your friends and your family. Again, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I love y'all, and I hope each and every one of y'all have a blessed and Merry Christmas. Bye, y'all.